welcome everybody. My name is Maralee Burnett. I am your tarot reader back with the messages for the week of March 3rd, which includes the beginning of Venus retrograde. And this planet will retrograde through the sign of Aries, backwards, of course, and also through part of the sign of Pisces. So it's a very unique retrograde that will also include Mercury's retrograde that starts in 2 weeks with the full moon lunar eclipse and, of course, the solar eclipse. So we have 6 weeks of some very, very intense energy where we will have to slow down, reflect on what it is that we really love, what we're truly passionate about, and what it is that we desire. So I am going to break down those messages for you shortly. But now, if you would be so kind, be sure to click on that subscribe button. Then you're notified every time I post my new content, which of course I post daily and weekly, these more in-depth conversations. If you are new to my channel, also make sure you go out to my website, maraleeburnett.com. That way you have access to all of my written content as well, and you'll definitely want to go out and check out the content for March. The retrograde conversations are there as well as in the Eclipse article. So, all kinds of free information out there for you. As long as you become a member and subscribe, I'll also email that information out to you directly. All right. You can always book a session with me as well, which I do recommend it because this is very unique energy, and there is one part of your life that is having all of this work go on. So, lots to talk about. Make sure you tune into the astro lesson that I will post out there later if you are really interested in knowing more about the astrology along with the energy here for the tarot cards. So, make sure you watch again for your sun, moon, and rising. I get started with Aries and we'll work through the sign of Pisces. You want to combine all three messages to get really detailed about the information the week ahead. And definitely go back and listen to last week's messages and see if they matched up or not. Which one spoke to you more, your sun, your moon, or your rising? Get to know yourself. All right. So, with that, let's get started with Aries. All right, Aries, we have for you the Three of Wands. So, the good news about the Three of Wands energy is that this is a week where you are waiting for a payoff of some kind. This is what you've been working so hard on. Well, now that payoff is coming to you, it's coming in. And this is a result of the work that you've done personally because this Venus retrograde is happening in your first house. So this could be, a 6-week time frame where you're going through a personal reinvention, a personal transformation, right? The first house is the self and it is how other people see us. So my only caveat is do not do anything drastic to change your appearance during this time. Small things are fine, things that can be undone, changing your wardrobe. Um, if you change your hair color, make sure it's subtle enough. And of course, we can always change it back. But anything we do drastically during a retrograde, and keep in mind we have two, we will regret it. But the number three is about being creative, being connected to our creator, working with others. So you have a very positive week ahead, Aries. Next, we have Taurus. All right, Taurus. So your Venus retrograde themes at the beginning, anyway, have to do with the Knight of Pentacles. So this is energy that aligns perfectly, right? Taurus is earthy, the Pentacles are earth energy, and the Knight is bringing an opportunity to you. And I guarantee you, whatever the opportunity is that is brought, it will require hard work, which of course you are very much aligned with. So this could be somebody from your past, maybe somebody that you worked with in the past that reaches out to you and has an offer of work of some kind for you. So this is the energy of the number one, because although the court cards carry that energy, so this again, it's a new opportunity. It's financial in nature, but again, take it slow and don't do anything drastic as far as the changes. This is the time to investigate the opportunity versus just jumping at it. So take your time. Next, we have Gemini. All right, Gemini. Always love the aces because there's an opportunity that comes to you from out of nowhere, right? This is the hand of God that reaches down and presents you with something new because the aces, of course, carry the energy of the number one. And the wands are something that inspires us, that lights the fire within. Sometimes it can be a romantic opportunity. And this for you is happening in your 11th house. So this could be a new opportunity that involves your friend group. So could be a romantic offering from somebody that you considered a friend. And I just strongly encourage any relationships that go on during a retrograde, and mind you, we have two, that you take it slow, you consider it an experiment, you don't get attached too quickly, don't repeat mistakes from the past. There's a lot to learn if this opportunity happens to be a romantic one. So treat it as such, and again, take it very slowly. All right, Geminis, keep me posted on that. Next, we have Cancer. All right, Cancers. So you're dealing with the energy of the Queen of Swords this week. So instead of being overly emotional, you are focused on your intuitive skills and gifts. Now, you may be interacting with this woman, and this is a businesswoman, right? She's got the facts and the information that you need to consider during this Venus retrograde. And this could have something to do with your career because of the fact that Venus is going retrograde, at least at the beginning, in your 10th house. And the 10th house is your career. It's your status, it's your reputation, it's what you're most known for. And it would suggest that the skills, your communication skills, your organization, your attention to detail, those are really important to somebody. And that's why this opportunity may come up for you. So it doesn't mean that you have to change your job, but there may be something you want to go back to. There may be somebody from the past who is reaching out because of your current skill set that would benefit them. But again, it's not a time for drastic changes. It is the perfect time to go back and review materials and content and get them ready to be shared in a bigger way after all of this retrograde energy concludes. Next, we have Leo. All right, Leos, this is good energy for you. It's the Six of Pentacles, and this is about a rebalancing of your finances. So, if you're in a position where you're doing really well, this is a time where you may be able to help other people. And if you are in need, then this is a time where, resources come back to you. And this energy of the number six is happy and joyful as it relates to your finances. So that's good news. Now, the Venus retrograde for you begins in your ninth house, and that's the house of foreign people, foreign places. Maybe you have foreign investments that would pay it off. Maybe you have a foreigner that is wanting to hire you. It's also our growth and expansion as far as our spiritual ideas, our belief systems, and Jupiter rules this, so it also can be very lucky. So keep me posted on that, Leos. Up next, we have Virgo. All right, Virgo, I think you have our first major arcana card of the day, and it is the Devil card. And the Devil card shows up to help you see where you're stuck, where you're trapped. It can be a relationship that you are trapped in that is not healthy for you. It could be a bad habit. It could be an addiction. It's an ego attachment, whatever it is, whatever you're so attached to that you can't live without, that's your ego, right? Your soul knows and trusts that if something is not healthy for you, we need to let it go. So the energy of this card with the six has a lot to do with love and joy and happiness. So it's suggesting that whatever you're overly attached to, it's actually blocking you from having and feeling joy. Now, this does happen in your eighth house, so this could have something to do with an intimate relationship and partnership. It could also have to do with money and power. So take a close look at that because you're going through a rebirth, a transformation of some kind, and that means you have to let something go. Keep me posted. Next, we have Libra, our next major arcana card, and it is the Moon card. So, this is when you get to see the light, right? Something that's been hidden from you will be exposed. And as you look at these two towers, right? You look at the owl at the top. Well, that's information, a knowing of some kind. We have the light and the dark, which is just like the moon. So there's two sides to everything. And there is something that you will be exposed to that could create some kind of an ending because the 18 adds up to the number 9, which is about conclusions. And this could have something to do with a relationship or a serious commitment of some kind. This Venus retrograde's going through your seventh house. So that's a marriage partner, a serious relationship, a business partner of some kind that whenever you learn is important to know, right? But it could result in the ending of the relationship or a major change in the relationship. All right, it's pretty intense. Keep me posted on that, Libras. Next, we have Scorpio. All right, Scorpio, you have the Six of Wands. So I like the way this card is presented. It's very hopeful. There is an opportunity for you to be recognized, to be rewarded. Um, that six energy, right, with the heart there shows you that this is a week where it feels very loving and supportive. Wands are things that we're passionate about. So this is a good week. Now, this could be associated with your work or your health because of the fact that that Venus retrograde's happening in your sixth house. It could be that you're finally getting recognition for the work that you've been doing. And it also suggests if you are ready to make changes at work, now's the time to be doing all the investigating, all the planning. It would be a good time to go back and get some kind of a certification or education. So do the work and then you're rewarded and you can really leap forward. All right, keep me posted on that, Scorpios. Next, we have Sagittarius. All right, you have the Emperor card, and this is the boss, right? This is somebody who is in charge and that you're interacting with, and that could create some kind of change for you. Now, the Emperor is, of course, strong, successful, and rules with a bit of a heavy fist. So there could be changes coming to you in the work that you do. It also could be a time where you take a hobby and turn it into something more with the help of this person's advice. Because this Venus retrograde happens in your fifth house. So you could be going back to a hobby that you loved and for some reason it's coming up again and you realize how passionate you were about it. So the number 4 helps you create structure about the things that you're passionate about. And for some, this does indicate a romantic partner who is, again, a leader, an important leader of some kind that you could be interacting with. But just remember, it's Venus retrograde, so we're going to tread lightly and carefully and not get overly attached. Next, we have Capricorns. All right, Capricorn, you have the Magician. So, this Venus retrograde for you is about manifesting what it is that you want. You have magical manifesting skills. And because this Venus retrograde is happening in your fourth house, there's something about your home, your family that you're focusing this magic on. Now, this could be a perfect time to be doing remodeling, right? Because Venus rules beauty and your home. So this is good for that. It may be challenging if you were to try to buy a new home at this time because the energy would make that go very slow. It would also be a difficult time to list your home for sale because of the fact that things are going to go very, very slowly. But it is the perfect time to get your house clean, to get it organized. And it's also the best time to go back and reconnect with family members that you have become disconnected with. And you can heal things within your family in a magical way. And of course, the number one means that out of this retrograde work that you do, a new beginning, a magical new beginning unfolds. All right. Next, we have Aquarius. Wow, we've got a lot of major arcana cards. And I feel like, Aquarius, you might have seen this Temperance card last week. So, Temperance is about emotional balance, that you have to focus on keeping your feelings under control. So it could be a week where you're tested in some way. This Venus retrograde's happening in your third house. So if you're at school, that could be challenging. If you have a lot of paperwork to do, that can be challenging. If you need to learn how to speak up for yourself, that's what you're going to be working on. And sometimes that's hard and a little scary if that's new to you. You don't want to overdo it, right? And suddenly find your voice and then use it to roar, right? You're just learning how to think for yourself, how to speak up for yourself and do it in a way that's balanced. Now that 14 becomes a number 5. So there is change underway for you this week as well. And it's positive, right? Look at all the rainbows and the positive energy that is flowing to you. Keep me posted, Aquarius. All right. And we round it out with Pisces. Oh boy, Pisces. So you have a decision to make, and it is a difficult one, and you don't want to avoid it. But the good news is, when you are stuck in indecision and everything else slows down to support you, like this Venus retrograde, well, it's giving you time to think. And the chances are this is something you have to consider about the work that you do, the money that you make, because it's happening in your second house. So that could very much be a job change or something that you need to decide, maybe a new job opportunity, and you might be a little afraid. But the key, right, when Venus is in the sign of Aries, is choosing what's best for you, which I know is very difficult, Pisces, but I want you to really work on that. You've got 6 weeks to decide, what do you love? What do you want? Is it a leadership role? There's something that your heart wants you to do, but you're feeling guilty about it, maybe taking away from your partner's success or taking away from your children. But don't stay stuck in indecision, right? The number 2 is about balance. So balance your thoughts, right? So if you are coming up with negative thoughts, I want you to offset them with a positive one. If you're doom and gloom, I want you to then turn that around to what's the positive outcome. It's about having both sides and being balanced. All right. Yours happens somewhere unique to you based on your actual chart, which you would know if you booked a session with me, or go out and create a free chart, because everybody's chart is unique and the houses and their sizes are unique. This may happen somewhere a little different for you. So might also be good to listen to the card before and after. Again, if you don't know your chart, but to create one, you just need to know your birth time, your birthplace, and of course your birth date, which most people do. If not, you can look at using your sun sign as house number 1 and go from there. But also keep in mind, This retrograde may cover two houses because this covers two signs. We're going from Aries back into Pisces and then forward again. So this is a very, very interesting time. So if you were Taurus, you had this happening in your 12th house, for instance. Well, the 12th house is things that are hidden and beneath the surface, it's the subconscious mind. So the retrograde stirs those things up and brings them to the surface. And then what you've seen, you have to pay attention to, work with, realize what it meant. And you've got 6 weeks to do it, right? This isn't things that are just going to change overnight. We have work to do. So we got to buckle down and do the work and take it slow, which is really hard for Aries because we just saw Mars retrograde for several months in the sign of Cancer. So there is something about that Mars retrograde that is showing up in this Venus retrograde in the sign that Mars rules. So again, you've been practicing, you've been training, and this week is going to open your eyes to what it was all about. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to your comments and your questions, and definitely look forward to my in depth astrology session if that's of interest to you as well. Take care.
I hope you have an amazing week ahead. Go check out the Astro lesson also on my YouTube channel to see the full week broken down day by day. Take care.